Alright, this is my review for Inception, the new Christopher Nolan film, and uh, first thing I want to say, well, before I get into anything that might be spoiler territory, this film is mind-blowingly awesome. Go see it. Really, go see the film. Uh, I mean, if you can't follow complicated plots, you might be slightly annoyed and slightly lost, but there's still a lot of good action when stuff's getting complicated. Which brings me really to my first point I want to make. I love it how Christopher Nolan has grown into putting action in his films because he's a thinking director. Kind of more on the artsy side, somewhat. And so many of these directors, I think, are afraid of action. They're afraid action will take their films down a notch and degrade them somehow because of associations with stupid action movies. And I think Nolan, over the years, you can see it progressing through his films, has learned that you can have action in a smart, edgy, intelligent movie. He's shown that here. I mean, look at the action you saw in uh, Batman Begins. Not a whole lot. Fights were very sketchy, and then he amped it up in The Dark Knight, and now he's put a ton of action in this new psychological thriller, and he's realized that you can put a ton of action in an intelligent movie and it doesn't degrade the intelligence. So go see that. Also, there is a lot of people from the Batman movies in this, which is also making me think that we're going to see, I would guess, at least one or two of these actors in the next Batman movie. I'm not sure exactly who, but who is from the Batman? We had Michael Caine, Ken Watanabe. I can never pronounce his name, but he was the first Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins, and he was also in The Last Samurai. So I always love it when he's in a movie. Who else do we have in this film? Of course, Leonardo DiCaprio, who, it's amazing, in the late 90s, everyone kind of hated him, like a Leonardo DiCaprio backlash from Titanic. And then he did Gangs in New York, and then since then, every movie he's done has been fucking awesome. God, he's been in since Gangs in New York, The Departed, Blood Diamond, a couple others. That he's basically is now great. If I know Leonardo DiCaprio's in a movie, I know it's probably good. Another surprise performance is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the new Cobra Commander, he's now having a second career. He was known as the kid from Third Rock from the Sun, but now he's kind of a legitimate actor. He did a great Cobra Commander, and he does a fine role in this as kind of DiCaprio's right-hand man, Arthur. I'm going to probably now start getting into spoilerish territory, so if you were listening just to get a sense of the movie and you don't want anything else kind of revealed, turn off the review and go see the movie. And if you're like some people that they don't care, they've either seen the film and they're looking for reviews to see what other people thought, or they like to know everything about the film before they go see it, that's time to start listening. God, this movie it's a thinker. It's very much in the same vein as Total Recall, only much more intelligent. No see at the party, Richter, unfortunately, but we have Leonardo DiCaprio, who is basically wanted for killing his wife so he can't go back to the United States. That's kind of why he takes these jobs of going into people's mind using this not Inception, I forget what they call it in the film, but they go into your dream, and they normally steal information, or they will actually down your dream. This is technically, they construct a dream and you just fill it with all the people in the dream, or your projections, and you're in there. But the actual physical layout, if you want to call it that, is designed by one of the other people who go in there with you. So complicated yet. So DiCaprio, because he's wanted for killing his wife, although his wife actually committed suicide. This is why it's hard to review these movies, because everything is so interconnected in this film. Wonderfully laid out, though. Really, everything makes sense if you actually watch it, and everything is accounted for. But it's just hard to describe, because you have to, as soon as you mention something, it's like, oh, there's 10,000 other things that connect into this. We'll get into the wife in a bit, but he goes in there and normally steals your stuff, and he's trying to steal some info on Ken Watanabe, whose character is Saito. He is, some sort of Japanese industrialist, and he kind of actually figures out that what DiCaprio is doing. So before they because apparently I'm guessing this is one of those films where it's supposed to take place 5 years in the future. The near future films. Well, near future. There's a strange category of films where they normally take place 5 years in the future. So basically, they can make it so nothing else has changed, because 5 years from now, most people are still going to have their cars. You probably won't even recognize, most stuff doesn't really change in 5 years. No new styles really pop out, generally speaking. Cars don't even look different. I mean, especially nowadays, where they can only do very small tweaks and change, so it's only 10 or 20 years until you really notice the differences. But it allows as a director you to bring in a technology that doesn't exist, but seems somewhat feasible, and allows you to go, everyone knows. They don't outright specify this. It could be implied that this tech exists now, and it's just only the super rich are worried about this. Because there are people that apparently this film mainly just deals with very rich, powerful business tycoons, and they seem to all be aware that they call them extractors, exists. And so a lot of them have hired extractors to train their minds to protect themselves. So if you're properly trained, you actually have an army of dudes just waiting in your mind to go after another extractor. It's just kind of cool. I want an army in my mind. I would have a badass army if I had that. But apparently only really it is only in the rich world. I mean, it's not like there's some identity thief running around trying to steal people's information. It's like only useful to the super rich. And I've already got distracted from the main plot. So that's basically what DiCaprio has done, and Saito, wary enough, is aware of the dream. He kind of wakes himself up, pulls, only for DiCaprio to realize that he actually woke up into another dream, because apparently you can go into a dream within a dream. Yeah, I said this was complicated. So he kind of wakes up fully. They escape. They don't really get all the information, which makes him wanted by another company. The company that hired him gets Sato's info. But Sato he sees potential. He was very impressed by DiCaprio, or Cobb's character, because that's what DiCaprio's character is named, Cobb. So he goes and catches up with DiCaprio and basically promises DiCaprio that he can go back to the States. He has enough connections that he'll get him back to the States, not without being a wanted man, if he can do this one particular job for him. Which I'm going to put in part 2, because I see the time's almost at 10, so stay tuned for part 2.